Hello everybody, I am GM Politics, and today this is my prediction for Tim Scott versus Joe Biden for, presidential election. Anyway, sorry for the audio. Here, let me adjust this quick. Okay. And, yeah, my audio is not the best. I know in other videos that, it's not great, but I'm working on fixing it and whatnot. Anyway, Tim Scott is a senator from South Carolina. I am a partial fan of him, I guess. I didn't really know much about him for a long time until, 2020. I started hearing more about him. I heard a ton of conflicting stuff. I heard that he's a rhino. Then I heard that he's a pretty good guy. So I did some reading, and I've done some reading. And then I've also, then I heard he's running for president. I'm Team DeSantis, but if DeSantis wasn't running, Tim Scott's like third place. He's behind Burgum for me. Anyway, this is my prediction for if he becomes the Republican nominee, which I don't see happening unless, Trump and DeSantis rip each other apart and Tim Scott becomes the dark horse candidate and just rips right through him. So, yeah, and okay, let's stop talking. It's time to get to the safe states. California, Oregon, Washington, Hawaii, Colorado. You know what? I'm leaving New Mexico for a second. Get to that. All these states over here. New Hampshire, because, it's New Hampshire. I don't see that place going red in a while. Maine's second. I got that as likely. New York, Minnesota. I'm really debating New Mexico. Okay, so let's start off with New Mexico. New Mexico, I've been debating a lot. I see Tim Scott as a very southern candidate, as in he can get a lot of the southern vote compared to other Republican candidates. He's also an overperformer as well, in my view. So we'll get to that in a bit. No. Anyway, the Tim Scott safe states are, of course, these areas here. Boom, 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 boom. Of course, South Carolina's safe because it's Tim Scott. He's from South Carolina. It makes sense to me. Then again, Trump, lived in New York, and it wasn't safe for him because it's a blue state. But I'm saying it's South Carolina. I don't see it going blue anytime soon. Not going to forget Florida, because if Tim Scott won, DeSantis endorses him. I know that. He's already signed the thing. Good chance Florida's safe. I don't know how Biden would win that. Alaska's also safe. I also put this district here as lean blue. I got my reasoning. Anyway, Tim Scott, as a candidate, he's not bad. I don't like his foreign policy, but really, he's not a bad guy. Overall, if he became our nominee, I would probably support him. But I have a very big respect for him because of this election here. This Republican primary, he would beat Paul Thurmond, which, if you don't know who that is one of, I'm pretty sure, at least from memory, the son of Strom Thurmond. Yep, here we go. And, well, yeah, he's kind of a nutcase. I hate the Thurmonds, alright? Very racist, very evil. I don't know about Paul Thurmond, though. He's been on a redemption arc, but that's not for this video. Redemption arc, Jesus Christ. Tim Scott beat him, which I have a great respect for. 2014 Senate election. Look how well he did. He got 757,000 votes over a Democrat nominee, 61.1% of the vote, versus Lindsey Graham in the same year, who, only got 54.2% of the vote. Democrats getting 38.7%, which is a, 1.6% increase over the other Democrat candidate, which, just saying. But also in 2014, this happened. Welcome back, Nikki Haley. Anyway, yeah, funny number here. She only got 55.9% of the vote. Overall, Democrats did a lot better this year, in my view, in South Carolina at least. Mainly because, Lindsey Graham's horrible. Nikki Haley is Nikki Haley. But Tim Scott is only one out of the three I think did the, fucking fantastic. He did great. And that's why I say he's a very big overperformer. And that's why you're going to see where I'm going to stand here. Anyway, I see him more as a Southern candidate. And so, because of that, and also things are going to be different this election, I even have Texas. There you go. I don't believe in Blexus. I'm putting Texas as likely. If Biden somehow flipped Texas, that's fascinating to me. That would be insane. New Mexico, though, because I'm putting Texas as likely, New Mexico is definitely a safe state. I was thinking of putting it as likely, but it's New Mexico, and, I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. Though, there is hope. New Mexico is a nice state, wonderful people. I have a good feeling someday they will change. By the way, Republican bias here. I know, I'm sorry. Georgia, though. Now, this is going to piss some people off. I have that as lean. Georgia went blue in 2020 by a very close margin. 2022, Herschel Walker, not a very good candidate. I over-predicted him, though. I thought he was going to win by a tilt to lean margin, and he lost. Yeah. No, I see Tim Scott having that at a lean margin. I can see him getting the black vote. I can see him getting the southern vote. Lean to even likely. And, yeah, that's the best for Georgia. North Carolina, likely. How in God's country is Joe Biden going to flip North Carolina? It's been getting more and more red as a state. It didn't even flip in 2020, which was like Democrats' best chance. I expected North Carolina to flip before Georgia. Georgia, I was not expecting. I had it as a safe state. I didn't know what I was talking about at the time. It was like I expected likely, safe, knowing what it voted before. But we saw what happened. North Carolina, definitely a likely state. Joe Biden for Virginia, though. Virginia, I saw polling showing DeSantis winning that state. Even Trump. Yeah, I can't believe it. Anyway, Virginia as a state is very blue. We already know this at this point, but it has voted red in the past. I'm putting it as a lean this year, even though it was safe during 2020, whatever. But Virginia state is starting to trend red. You can see it with the victory of Glenn Youngkin, though I don't think that is going to be the exact reason for it being like lean or even tilt red. That would be amazing. But if it did go tilt red, Tim Scott's got a good chance of winning. And I feel like he can, but we'll see what happens. Iowa, that is going to be safe. I don't know why I left that out. I don't see any chance in hell Joe Biden getting it anywhere closer than it was in 2020. It's a safe state for now. All right, I don't see a chance. Ohio, though. I've been hearing populists all the time saying, oh, I'm not a populist, oh, he can't win, blah, blah, blah. J.D. Vance underperformed. I don't give a shit. Tim Scott's got Ohio as safe, alright? I don't care. I left those two out just for fun kind of thing. It's just to see, people get mad. Michigan, though, yeah, that's sad, Celine. Alright, I was surprised Trump won that state in 2016. But I don't see it flipping. I don't see it flipping back to red right now, knowing how it's voted. Then again, Tim Scott, he's Tim Scott. He's going to overperform whatever prediction I put down if he won the nomination. Wisconsin, though, I got that as lean. I like Wisconsin. I think the people are wonderful. I have a good feeling that they are going to vote red this year. It barely voted for Biden. Let's get that straight. Joe Biden's not a popular candidate. He's an old guy. I got a good feeling it's not going to flip to Joe Biden this election, depending on the candidate. All right, next, Arizona. Arizona has been trending blue. It's kind of sad. I'm sorry for the Arizonans, but they have the right to their opinion. I see it currently as a toss-up state, but because of Tim Scott being a Southern candidate, I got it tilt red. Fight me. We've got Tim Scott versus Joe Biden being a Tim Scott victory, but I'm probably over-predicting multiple candidates in the past, so I'm going to overpredict Tim Scott as well. Nevada, though, I keep hearing people it's going to flip, blah, 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 blah. I feel like it can, but it depends on the candidate we run. Tim Scott's a popular guy, and I've been debating all day where Nevada would go. And in this scenario, I say Nevada is also tilt Tim Scott. Don't quote me on this. I have a feeling my opinion might change. Nevada, every year, I've heard people say, oh, it's going to flip. Oh, it's going to flip. Oh, it's going to flip. It's not going to flip. It's not going to flip. So actually, just because of that, I'm putting it as lean blue just because I have, Arizona red kind of thing. But anyway, because of Tim Scott already getting all of this, I also have a good feeling Pennsylvania is going to be lean. Or tilt. Crap. Look, one thing history shows that whoever wins Pennsylvania will win the election generally. Though some elections has been different, like, 2000, whatever. But if Tim Scott becomes Republican nominee and he's doing what he's doing and he does a good campaign, I feel like Pennsylvania would be a tilt red state, lean red state even at some point. This is just my personal prediction for now. Again, it's just my opinion. I don't expect people to take that very. I'm not using any polling here because there isn't any polling for him being the presidential nominee as of I know. But Tim Scott, I'm a fan of him since 2024, though, for me. Thank you very much. And thank you all for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. And end the Fed. Thank you all.